cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. It's black and white. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right for all I know. It's only matter. It's calico. It's black and white. White, white, white. It's black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. It's black and white. It's black and white.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracersworld TV, and welcome to the final round of the season in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. My name is Chaz Draycott, and I'm going to be taking you through all of the action this evening. And it's been a long old season, but at the same time, it feels like it's only just begun. This amazing format has provided so much incredible racing this season that I'm actually gutted it's going to have to come to an end. But at the moment, as he's just gone fastest, it's Adrian Falcon that last week was crowned, sorry, not last week, the week before last, was crowned your champion for 2020 and for Season 2 of this amazing championship. But going into tonight, we have 2 other championships to figure out. One of which could be won by this man, Taylor Lane, in the Academy Championship. Just so you know what I'm on about, at the top of your screen, you'll see there. They are the 3 classes. Precision, Consistency and Academy. Taylor leads the championship at the moment. I've had a little bit of an issue with my championship graphics, I'm afraid, so you're going to have to just bear with me. And quite happily for Fiercely Forward, the man leading the Consistency class as well is Josh Clogg. So it's cars, I'm just checking back now, 232 and 114 that could come away from tonight as champions in their respective class. Taylor has a 77-point gap at the top of his championship. Josh Clogg 44 points clear of Ben Hoffman. Chris Roberts is the man that is looking to challenge Taylor Lane for that championship. He's currently in the pits as Adrian Falcon goes back to second. Bart Daleman, great to see Bart back. He's been ill for a couple of weeks, but he's just gone quicker than everybody else at the moment, so well done, Bart. Ben Hoffman, though, like I say, he is the other guy that needs the points to try and win the Consistency class, racing for Year 1 Racing Alpha Live. We'll go on board for a moment, because this circuit, well, I ought to turn the volume up, really. There you go, you can have about that. On board with Ben Hoffman, then down towards Pilgrim's Drop, and then up towards Hawthorne. Or Hawthorne's very, very scary corner, especially in these cars. You're going so quickly through there. So quickly indeed. It's crazy how many parts of this circuit are very, very fast. It is a lot quicker than people remember every time you go there, this circuit. It's a wonderful place. Been there a couple of times in real life this year. Had the pleasure of commentating there twice this year. It really is a great circuit. Into the final corner then, Ben Hoffman. Look at how much speed they're carrying through there. That's amazing. Matthew Crisp goes fastest over Arthur Fry. Arthur's had a great second half of the season. Hoffman is, he's 5th in class at the moment. It's Hans Polmans. Hansy for Flemish Sim Sports, that is top of the pile in his class. Good evening there, everybody. Hello, everyone that is in the YouTube chat. Everybody that's watching on Facebook as well. Great to have you here with me. But here is your current pole sitter, Matthew Crisp. He was saying that he was looking for a challenge, and he was looking for a good one here as well. And it's certainly gone his way at the moment. Arthur Fry is second. Yes, they are they're in closed qualifying at the moment, so they drive individually, essentially. So they're on the circuit on their own. But it also works because people can't give each other a slipstream. You know, teams can't really work together. It's all down to pure driver pace. There's Adrian Falcon, your reigning champion now. Or your champion-elect, I should say. We're going to keep our eye on Josh Clogg, though. He's 19th at the moment. And Josh was one of the very front runners as well in Season 1. It's crazy how times have changed, isn't it? Arthur Fry goes fastest again. Matthew Crisp is only 1,000th of a second faster than Adrian Falcon. That's amazing. So close between some of these drivers out there. Fastest Academy class driver at the moment is Carl Newen, who's just put it in the fence at the end of his lap. He's a long way ahead of Taylor Lane. Carl Newen's 18th, Taylor Lane down in 25th. Taylor just has to worry about Chris Roberts, who is currently at the bottom of the pile. At the very bottom of the pile, with Tanguy van der Veeg down there as well. Mark Fletcher, new driver this evening, by the way. My mate Mark for Altitude Esports, his new team. He was very quick in practice, but now he's nearly a second off the qualifying top spot. Anyone that knows Mark knows that he's very quick, though. He's the Apex Racing League American GT Championship champion. Or he was in the first season of it anyway. I'm not sure if there's been another season since then and anyone else has taken his crown, but yeah, he finally bagged himself a title He's been on iRacing a very long time. His iRacing ID, if this means anything to anyone, is 35662. Not only is it 5 digits, it's 5 small digits. Great to see everybody in the chat, though. Welcome along, guys. Welcome. Honestly, tonight's going to be a great evening to see out this championship. And I mean, hats off to Bart Daleman and his team, because this has been an amazing format. Don't you all agree? It's been fantastic to watch, hasn't it? As Ross Nicholson goes to the beach. Here's John Tusting. And again, that livery not seeming to load for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's a real shame, that, because that livery usually does look really good. Here's Bod Boland. He's down in 21st place. And he's a precision class driver as well. And that's the session over and done with straight away. That's how quickly it finishes and is just done with. So, the first heat of the night then will be positions 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on from that qualifying session. So it's Arthur Fry alongside Adrian Falcon. Then it's Kevin Zemstra and Mark Fletcher. Wayne Palmer starts on row 3 ahead of John Tusting. Ben Hoffman is 7th with Hans Polmans in 8th. Holger Meifert 9th and Tim Rutten 10th. Then it's the aforementioned Bod Boland with Stephen Grabowski, Matt Forrest and Greg Parmenter, Danny Fenning and Chris Roberts, with Matisse Groen lining up at the back of the grid. But we'll wait to see Arthur Fry take to the grid then. Kevin Zemstra is there. And you can see the massive dip down. John Fletcher in the chat. Good to see you, John. Absolute pleasure to have you, mate. Great to see you. But this is going to be the first heat of the evening then. We have 2 heats. The top 8 drivers go through from these heats. Anyone that doesn't make it through, say if you finish 9th in this heat, you will start on pole for the Consolation race. If you finish 9th in the second heat, you'll start 2nd on the grid for the Consolation race. Then the final 8 go through from that Consolation, where there is a mandatory pit stop. And then we get the last race of the evening. But there is your new champion, everybody, Adrian Falcon. I've been told his English isn't great, but he's going to try and push for an interview later. I've just got to speak a bit slower, which is perfectly understandable, mate. Arthur Fry on pole position. Arthur's been great throughout this season. A real joy to watch. Very exciting driver. Not scared to get stuck in a couple of battles. And hello, Mr. Werrell. It is a Chaz. It's a Chaz indeed. We're just waiting for Matisse Groen at the back of the field, who doesn't seem to have taken the start here. And he's not going to either, by the look of it. So, here we go then. The first heat of the night in the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series is away. And look at that start in the middle there for Hans Polmans. He got a real good launch off the line through the middle of the pack. Everyone trying to keep it nice and tidy around turn 1. Paddock Hill Bend, very scary. Danny Fenning leading the Academy class at the moment. You'll see the coloured strips on the left-hand side of your screen. That's basically what class they're all in. Oh, there's chaos at the top of the hill. Oh, Matt Forrest and Greg Parmenter have come together. Matt Forrest's front wheels come off. He's got, oh, is that Danny Fenning in there? I did have to jinx Danny Fenning, didn't I? Stephen Grabowski had the first issue, it seems. Oh, look at that, down the inside. Oh, it's Danny Fenning that caused it. He went in way too hot. And then Matt Forrest, in getting going again, hits the side of Greg Parmenter. That's such a shame. So Arthur Fry out in front. Then it's Adrian Falcon. Kevin Zemstra, he's got Mark Fletcher right behind him at the moment. On his debut here, don't forget, is Mark. We go on board with him now. Into Stirling's Bend. 11 lap heat races here. You probably don't need the time next to that, do you? There you go. Look at Mark, how close he is to the back of Kevin Zemstra. Kevin's one of the quickest drivers in the season by a long shot. Ben Hoffman, don't forget, he's 2nd in the consistency class at the moment. The car ahead of him on track is Wayne Palmer. Look at this a bit further down. John Tusting. And, oh, around the outside, Tim Rutten. Oh, Tim squeezes him. And if I'm honest, I think that's on Tim, that one. Didn't leave enough room. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, John's nearly on the curb. and just doesn't leave that extra bit of space to make the move. Now Ben Hoffman has got past Wayne Palmer here. We're going to go back and look at this. Oh, Wayne has a real moment out of Graham Hill Bend, and through he goes. So Ben is trying to beat Josh Clogg in the consistency class. Just ahead of this, Zemstra is just holding on ahead of Mark Fletcher, as Danny Fenning has gone back to the pits now, I'm afraid. Don't forget, anybody that finishes outside the top 8 in this race goes through to the Consolation. So there's still plenty of time, plenty of chances for these drivers to get through and get some points tonight. Nobody scores any points until the end of the Consolation race. So if you finish in the top 8 of the Consolation race, you go through to the feature, and it'll be your 3rd race of the night, so you've got a lot of work on your hands. But if you finish outside of the top 8 in the Consolation, that is where you are fixed in for the night. Just keeping an eye on Ben Hoffman, doing a fine job in 5th. Bod Boland is the first car outside of that top 8 at the moment. Not that you can't do the maths. But Bod Boland is going to be pushing hard to try and catch Holger Meifert, who's not had the easiest of seasons. Him and his teammate Fischer have had a real tough ride, and Henning Stuhlinger as well. The three of them getting involved in quite a few incidents. Not always their own fault though. You know, they're always just in the battles a bit further down. Still, the closest cars on track at the moment are these two. Kevin Zemstra looking back at Mark Fletcher. Oh, there's a lot of profiles in one thing with with the same picture, but look at this anyway. In the YouTube chat I was on about, just in case anyone's wondering what I'm chatting. Louis Hanker, Silas Kragvrolic and Matthew Crisp all with the same picture, and it's not even them, it's Ollie Slade. Love it, gentlemen, love it. And it's all different sizes, so you can kind of tell who's who. That's clever. It's close between Hans Polmans and Wayne Palmer. On board now with Hans Polmans down the hill, down Pilgrim's Drop, up towards Hawthorns, through the right-hander. Well, Ollie seems to be a popular bloke in the YouTube chat, so you love it really, Ollie. Stephen Grabowski's had an issue. Oh, just clipping the grass up through Sheen Curve. And that, I'm afraid, is the end of his first race of the night. Back on board with Hans Polmans then. Still trying to chase down Wayne Palmer. These two in the same class. As Arthur Fry does the fastest lap of the race. 1/10 of a second faster than Adrian Falcon. Arthur is on a mission in this second half of the season. Hopefully if Arthur returns for another season of this, he can do just as well and try and take the title, because he's definitely a driver that has the pace to do it. Great defensive stuff from Kevin Zemstra at the moment. He's just holding the car where it needs to be. Mark Fletcher really is on the attack. We saw a couple of moments ago that he dropped off a little bit. That's not the case anymore. They're just stuck together though. They really are stuck together. Here we are looking back from Kevin Zemstra. Oh, he's run a bit wide though through Redgate. Redgate, Westfield. Look how close Mark is following. Through Sterling's. Into the final right-hander over the crest. Back onto the not-so-straight here at Brands Hatch. Mark is looking, still not making a move. Arthur Fry does the fastest lap of the race again. little bit wide there from Kevin Zemstra, but Mark wasn't really in the position to pounce. A bit further back as well, we've got Wayne Palmer in a sandwich here between Ben Hoffman, Hans Polmans and Holger Meifert. They're still not quite stuck together. However, Bod Boland, there he is a little bit further back. He's the one that's got the work to do. He needs to catch those cars ahead to get a spot in tonight's feature race. But at the moment, he's not on course to do that. Purple sectors again here from Arthur Fry. He is really on it. Adrian Falcon can't do anything about him. Let's see what Fry does. It's another fastest lap of the race, a 1:16.3, 1:16.1 from Falcon. So never mind, he can't do anything about it. That's exactly what you need to do about it. Tim Rutten has done a purple sector 4, by the way. He's further down the order in 12th. But he has got some proper poke in that little car by the look of it. Here's Wayne Palmer just going around Druids. Seems like a bit of a stalemate at the moment, doesn't it? Oh, I've said that about Tim Rutten and he's had an issue. Oh, Tim. Wow, that's a real moment, that is. He's done an absolute miracle to keep that out the walls somehow. Amazing stuff. Now Ben Hoffman, as I say, it's a stalemate. Ben Hoffman is being caught by Wayne Palmer. Ben needs to play this safe because this is his championship he's got to think about. Hans Polmans is watching this from the sidelines currently, but we know that Hans won't be scared of getting involved in this if it kicks off a little bit. We'll stay on board and see what he gets to see from here. Arthur Fry with another fastest lap there. Amazing stuff from him. Zemstra and Falcon do their favourites, their personal bests. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up from Ben, also from Palmer. So Polmans is in the box seat here. He's putting pressure on these two in front. This is starting to get a bit lively now. Through the left-hander. At Surtees on the throttle. Down towards Pilgrim's Drop. Thinking about Mark Fletcher earlier up the order as well. He doesn't really need to get past Kevin Zemstra. He's in a place where he's going to get through. He's just done a purple sector 2 as well as Mark Fletcher. Oh, a little bit wide there. Hans Polmans loses the advantage. Hoffman's holding on here. Holger Meifert is just about a second ahead of Bod Boland, but Bod is closing in bit by bit here. This is becoming potentially a 5-car train. The gap between Fletcher and Zemstra is just over half a second now. That's opened up a little bit. But here's the rest of the field further down. Fletcher, fastest lap of the race, a 1:15.9. That's rapid stuff. Is that Ben Hoffman going wide? Sorry, I think it might have been Palmer going a little bit wide. This is starting to liven up now, with 2 laps to go after this one. Oh, Wayne Palmer going rally crossing there. Down Pilgrim's Drop again. Hans Polmans trying to put the pressure on. Up towards the long right-hander at Hawthorns. Through Westfield. And to be honest, still nothing doing for any of these drivers yet. Still a nice little spread going on. Holger Meifert just sitting back and watching this develop. Trust me, if anything happens here, Bod Boland is going to be the one that is going to capitalise and take this. Another 1:16.1 from Fletcher, 1:16.3s and 4s from the cars in front. That means that Mark is right back on the back of Kevin Zemstra. Kevin holding on to third place at the moment, but what can Fletcher do around here? Oh, Zemstra's gone wide. Fletcher's going to take the inside. That was the mistake Mark was waiting for. He's been putting the pressure on all race long, and Fletcher gets onto the podium and up into third place before Surtees. Now Hans Polmans is on the back of Wayne Palmer. Still asks his teammates saying, "Kevin, you donkey," in the YouTube chat. Love it. Absolutely love it. Nice team support there, boys. Vote to kick Kevin out. Wow. Savage. It's like Red Bull. Hans Polmans is still just about holding on, though. Oh, Wayne Palmer's not holding on really there. That was a bit lively, wasn't it? They're pushing so hard in these cars, and this is the thing. They grip like they're on a scale electric circuit, and then all of a sudden they'll just break away and they'll go around. Holger Meifert is right behind Hans Polmans as well now. On to the final lap for race leader Arthur Fry. Adrian Falcon still second. Mark Fletcher's third and cleared off from Zemstra now. Then it's Hoffman, Palmer, Polmans and Meifert all together. Bod Boland is 4.2 seconds back from Holger Meifert, so he can't really keep up with him by the look of it now. It's like they've just unlocked this extra pace out of nowhere, like an RKO. But Arthur Fry, what a great drive this has been so far from him. Number 33. He's a privateer in this championship, is Arthur. Not really spoken to him much this season, but he's just been there or thereabouts. He's got his pink helmet out, and he's got the job done. Now, Ben Hoffman has got a bit of a gap over Palmer, but he's got Polmans right on him. Holger Meifert's had some sort of issue earlier on in the lap. So this is the closest battle we've got, really. However, Arthur Fry is about to come into the last corner. He's only just under a second ahead of Adrian Falcon, but it's a heat race win for Arthur Fry. Fantastic drive across the line, beating the champion-elect. Mark Fletcher on his debut, third place. Good stuff. Ahead of Kevin Zemstra. Ben Hoffman's going to win the consistency class, and Hans Polmans just doesn't get there at the end to get past Wayne Palmer. Then it's Holger Meifert in the last spot to get through. Bod Boland will start the consolation race from pole position. Chris Roberts will start third. John Tusting will start that fifth, and Tim Rutten will start it in seventh. And yes, I did say that Arthur has his pink helmet out, because he certainly does. It's how he turns up and how he gets on with the racing. This is Greg Parmenter, unfortunately not having the race go his way after that incident earlier. But that's the first race of the night done. And Greg Parmenter will now basically just chuck it over the line, and it will tick over to the next session. Get ready for him to disappear. Ready? And there he goes. So, we have the grid. Matthew Criss, pole position, alongside Bart Daleman, Ross Nicholson, then Ben White. Great stuff for him, fourth there. James Forsyke is fifth. Ahead of Brian Loynes with Victor Belea-Centelles and Louis Correa on row 4. Then it's Josh Clogg looking to win the Consistency Championship today, ahead of Paul Godden. Carn Newen and Taylor Lane looking to win the Academy Championship today. Behind him is Phil Reagan, Michael Fisher, Tanguy van der Veeg, and our very own Jack Werrell at the back of the grid. So there is your pole sitter, Crisp. Alongside him, Bart Daleman. Two of the very quickest drivers in this series, but it's hard to pick a quick driver out of all these brilliant drivers that we have. But Heat 2 of the night in the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series is underway. Doesn't look like we have Tanguy van der Veeg at the back of the field, I'm afraid. But a good start for Crisp. Holds on to the lead. Ben White has also gone in front. Jack Werrell's already off the circuit. Oh, it's Phil Reagan he's involved with. Oh, those two already out of the race by the look of it. Oh, there's a car around. It's Ross Nicholson, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, Ross has had a nightmare. Victor Belea-Centelles gets involved as well. Ross has had the worst contrast season compared to last season. It's such a shame. He's also gone off again. The rear wing has gone, Ross. You're not going to get that back, mate. I want to see what happens to Jack Werrell and Phil Reagan. So Jack Werrell's in the yellow car further back. Oh. Oh, heck. Right, I was looking at Jack Worrell's not in the yellow car, sorry. I thought it was a fiercely forward car, but Jack goes into the middle. Oh, and he just gets a tap off Michael Fisher. Phil Reagan gets in there with him. Oh, Brian Loynes has gone off the circuit. Way off the circuit. Somehow gets back on. Louis Correa was off there with him as well, but at the end of lap 1, it's Matthew Crisp leading the way. As Louis Hanker says, Crispy is so old, even his livery's gone grey. Bart Daleman second, Ben White in third, and Josh Clogg is just losing out to James Forsythe there. James in the Year 1 Racing Alpha Live car goes through, and then it's Taylor Lane just behind. Taylor has gained 6 places on that first lap, and he is looking to become the Academy Class Champion tonight. He's leading that class in this race as well, but just behind, look at this, Louis Correa has to hold off Khan New and Michael Fisher and Brian Loynes in this. Brian in the precision class looking to get ahead of Michael Fisher, and does so into the top 10. But don't forget, Louis Correa is holding on to the final position that gets through into that feature race for the evening. If you're wondering what the livery's about, with Bang written on the back of it, it's Fast Cars Go Bang, that's the team name. Quite a nice livery as well, to be honest, isn't it? Really nice. Hansy in the chat, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Always good to see you, mate. That's his car, Newen. I imagine letting Brian Loynes through, or is he? No, he's not doing so. Brian's got to work for this. He knows, Khan Newen knows that he is only 2 positions. No, sorry, Brian's 2 positions off getting through. Khan Newen's only 1 position off getting through. Victor Centelles and Phil Reagan a bit further down the order, swapping places. Victor going through. Victor's been really quick, but just very inconsistent this season. It's a shame, as Phil closes on the brakes there. Doesn't make it past, though. But out in front, Matthew Crisp doing a good job here, ahead of Bart Daleman in second place. Bart was saying in the YouTube chat before the race that Matt should wait for him and they can just cruise around together. Seems like that's what they're doing at the moment. James Forsythe in fourth, chasing down his teammate. And then Josh Clogg is just behind him, ready. There he is, with his teammate Taylor Lane in there as well. Then it's Paul Godden and Louis Correa. So these 4 cars are the final 4 that are going to be going through to the feature if it stays how it is. Khan Newen just behind them is trying to catch up. Oh, that's a big crash in the background for Michael Fisher. What on earth happened there? Michael. Oh, that looked like someone wasn't paying attention to me. He's gone into the wall, triggered iRacing's shadows to their best capability, and that's Michael Fisher out of the race, I'm afraid. Got Bod Boland in the chat saying he'll get the hang of them shortly, and hopefully by shortly, I hope you mean the next race. Look at this though, Josh Clogg is clogging the drain at the moment by the look of it. He's clogging up the order. He sat there in 5th place overall, but Taylor Lane, his teammate, is trying to get through. And he's saying, I can't hang around here, mate. I've got Godden and Correa behind me. Don't forget, though, that Taylor and Josh are both going after their own respective championships here. Josh could win the consistency classes. Look at that lovely move by Louis Correa. Gorgeous cutback in the final corner. And Taylor Lane, by the way, is trying to win the Academy Championship. So the two of them need to crack on. And they also need to stay safe. That's the main thing. They need to keep this nice and clean as it can possibly be. We have a Werrell still circulating, which is good. He's got back going again after that huge crash before. But Phil Reagan is the next car to overtake, and he's nearly a lap ahead, I'm afraid. So Correa is 7th, Godden is 8th. Carn Newen is the car that wants to try and get through into the feature. We'll go on board with Carn Newen in the SCC racing machine. Through Westfield they go. I'd hope that Josh Clogg and Taylor Lane would be working together. And what do you mean, Hansi? Oh, you mean the microphone? Yes, thank you, mate. I'm very, very pleased with it. I've got the setup and everything right now, and yeah, this microphone is an absolute ton better than my previous one. But the old one was a £15 Microsoft headset that did last me 5 years, so I have to give that headset credit. It did a wonderful job for a long time. But now on a proper audio mixer and a proper broadcast headset from Audio Technica, it does sound just that extra bit more crisp. No, it is a headset mic combo. It's just the one thing, one piece. But it's the Audio Technica BPHS1, and a fantastic bit of kit it is. But I've also got an audio mixer as well, a Behringer X1204 USB. I had to look over then and remember, because they've all got a lot of numbers in their names. Anyway, someone with a lot of numbers is Louis Correa. 177 with 113 behind him. That's Paul Godden trying to get through. Because Paul now needs to focus on the fact that Carn Newen and Paul's teammate, or stablemate, Brian Loynes, are here battling amongst themselves. Matthew Crisp does the fastest lap of the race. Down the inside goes Brian Loynes, and he says, right, Carn, I need to crack on now and get through. Phil Reagan is always off big time there. What has happened to Phil? I'm sure we're going to find out. He's got Victor Centelles. Victor down the inside. Oh. I don't know on that one. That's a bit of an odd one. Victor made his intentions clear. He did get to the right-hand side, and Phil continued to squeeze the gap. Victor couldn't just disappear, I'm afraid. Correa ahead of Loynes. And Carn Newen has got back past Paul Godden. Oh, Paul Godden's had an issue, actually. Paul Godden's gone off himself. Louis Correa down the inside. Oh, he gives him a tap. It was an assisted issue for Paul Godden. Kevin Zemstra has turned up in the YouTube chat and is kicking off. Not about the series or me or anything, but the fact that he wants he wants Ollie to sack someone from Fiercely Forward. Love it, boys. Love it. Would you believe me if I just told you that I've got ice cream all down myself? Right then. Louis Correa is trying to hang on to the back of Taylor Lane here. And trust me, we've all been there. Brian Loynes right behind him as well. Trying to put the pressure on, so this has not been made easy. But Brian Loynes doesn't need to at this point, because this man, Carn Newen, is the one that needs to get a move on. Oh, we've got Ross Nicholson. Oh, Ross. Honestly, will anything go right for you this season, Ross? He's such a lovely bloke, is Ross Nicholson, and he's so fast. But he's just struggled, really struggled this season to get used to this car as it's been changed. And it's just not working for him. This is getting closer and closer in front though, isn't it? Look at these lot. Taylor Lane is now only just ahead of Louis Correa. These two not in the same class. They may be in similar colours, but wow. Now, getting in there as well is Brian Loynes. He's trying to join in the fight. Down the inside of Louis Correa. Through he goes, or does he? Louis hangs it around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend. Brave stuff from the Venezuelan. Amazing stuff from Louis Correa, but it doesn't pay off in the end. And Brian Loynes goes through. Now Con Newen, he's got his eye on the prize now. Josh Clogg is still clogging up the field, isn't he? I'm going to use that one again. We ought to have a quick look at our race leader, you know. Whoa! I'm sorry, Ollie. That's all I'm going to say. John Tusting, that's how you give room at paddock hill. Love it, mate. Love it. Thank you very much, Celeste. I'm glad you enjoy it. Taylor is just holding on to this at the moment. Doesn't need to make the move. He doesn't need to worry about being overtaken if Brian Loynes wants to force the issue. And that's Brian's issue. But look at him go. Brian Loynes, the run out of there. That was a huge run out of clearways. In towards Paddock Hill Bend. Both of them go a little bit wide though. They're pushing so hard there, aren't they? Still nothing though. And still, Brian Loynes puts the pressure on Taylor Lane. Josh Clogg's going to be happy not to be under pressure for a minute. Louis Correa is only 0.4 of a second back, and then Con Newen is another 7. So it's not the closest field in the world, but it's also not the most spread out. And it just so happens to be around that magical 8th place, which is the last position to go through to the feature race tonight. Brian Loynes, though, he's definitely got the pace over Taylor Lane as Matthew Crisp starts the final lap of the race. Bart Daleman is 10 seconds ahead of Ben White, who's being caught up here by his teammate James Forsythe. There is their stablemate Phil Reagan as well. Still nothing doing there. Look at this again across the line. Brian Loynes down the inside of Taylor Lane. Loynes is probably how you pronounce Taylor's name in Ireland, isn't it? Whoa, that was close. Very late on the brakes there towards the back of Josh, then cuts back across the front of Brian Loynes. This is such close racing between these guys. Really respectful stuff as well. Now he's in the slipstream, is Brian. He's going to crack on with it. Taylor goes to the right-hand side of the circuit to defend. Manages to hold onto the line. Brian tries the cutback. Nothing doing there. Into Westfield. Doesn't get the run there either. Up the hill once again. But it's Matthew Crisp who takes the heat race win. Fantastic stuff. Even sparks against the wall across the line. Bart Daleman second. Nice drive by Bart. And then round the corner for the final time goes Ben White and James Forsythe. Is James going to take that podium away from him? Whoa! Nearly does. And Josh Clogg is just going to beat Taylor Lane and Brian Loynes to the line. Then it's Louis Correa going through. Con Newen will start the consolation race from second on the grid. Paul Godden will start from 4th. And then 25 seconds back is going to be Ross Nicholson and Victor Centelles. That is for position, that. So this is close as well. Into the final corner they go. Ross chucks it in. He's pointing the right way this time. And across the line it goes. Ross Nicholson, Victor Centelles behind him. And Jack Werrell is... Oh, hello. Hi, Jack. He manages to pull the car over. And that's going to be that. Now then, we have a consolation race to be getting on with. Bob Boland on pole from Con Newen, Chris Roberts and Paul Godden. And it's John Tusting, Ross Nicholson, Tim Rutten, Victor Centelles, Greg Parmenter and Phil Reagan. Then we have Matthew Forrest, Jack Werrell, Stephen Gorowski, Michael Fisher, Danny Fenning, No Tanguy van der Veeg, and Matthijs Groen at the back of the grid. Now the drivers to watch here, don't you worry, Louis, it does handle like the Jetta. The Jetta is amazing. You know it. You love it. In a week's time, the British Boring Car Championship. Louis will be with us for that one, hopefully. Now the guys you need to watch here, Chris Roberts. He needs to chase after Taylor Lane as best he can in this. If he does not get through here, Taylor Lane is the Academy class champion. Simple as that. Simple as that. Right then. Time for a consolation race. Don't forget, there's a pit stop in this one that the drivers need to go ahead with. And they're away. Good start in the middle from Victor Centelles. Looks like Chris Roberts gets a good one as well. Ross Nicholson's going to be in the middle of the pack once again for this. He's just hanging it around the outside. Look for Victor Centelles there behind as well, going around the outside of Tim Rutten. Onto the brakes. Victor, big lock up. Oh, Matt Forrest has gone straight on and he's in the gravel. Oh, Victor Centelles got a bit of a tap there as well, I think. Not quite sure which of them it was. I think that was Jack Werrell just giving him a bit of a kiss on the way out of Druids. He's got Phil Reagan behind him again. Phil will be wanting to avoid Jack after that first race incident. But at the front, Bob Boland leading the way. Chris Roberts is up to second now ahead of Carn Newen. Those two both in the Academy class as well. At the moment, Carn Newen in that championship is fourth. 40 points off Chris Roberts. So that probably won't change tonight. We've got Paul Godden. Wow, way off the circuit and into the wall hard. Manages to keep it off the circuit again though, but I think that's going to be the end of Paul Godden's night. Danny Fenning and Mattis Groen also haven't taken to the start. Oh, that's Carn Newen. He's got bored of his racing line and he's tried to find a new one. Ross Nicholson in there as well with Tim Rutten. There's contact. Ross is around, Tim's around and into the wall hard. That's Greg Parmenter. Just not enough room by Ross Nicholson there. Now Werrell and Centelles and Paul Godden. Oh, Paul Godden's already hit the wall, hasn't he? Victor Belay, Centelles and Jack Werrell are taking this pit stop very early. Now, it's a bit of a sneaky tactic. It's not what I'm a fan of because it doesn't seem very realistic. But they're taking this pit stop very early to get it out of the way. Gives them track position, I suppose. What do you all think? Is that an interesting tactic? Is it a good one? What do you reckon? If you send your responses via post to Nobody Really Cares at Chaz Draycott Media and Simracersworld TV, then I'll read them out on stream for you. Oh no, Stephen Grabowski. 3 wheels on the wagon. I was just about to say it looks like he's going to do what he did in race 1. And Michael Fisher's also gone fishing in the gravel. He did what he did in race 1. Did Grabowski. Bit of grass on the left. Oh no, a car's already gone at that point. Into the wall. And then Michael Fisher comes along, avoids it, but then the car just wants to go straight on. Little tap of the wall. And he's still out there, still going. Tim Rutten's in the pit lane. Oh, he's missed his box, though. Ah, you can't pit lap 1 and make it to the end. Did you hear that, Jack? And you, Victor. So we may see those guys come back in. So Tusting third. We've got 3 different classes in the top 3. There are your classes at the top. Precision, Academy and Consistency. Not in that order though, I'm afraid. I think that's just because of their order in the race at the moment. But it's Bob Boland in the number 66 car. He said he was going to get used to him again, didn't he? He's flying at the moment. Great stuff. No pit stop for Bod this time round. Fastest lap of the race, though. Carn Newen is 4th overall at the moment. Chris Roberts is the important one here, though. Because he needs to go chasing after Taylor Lane. This is the final race meeting of the championship. This is his last chance to try and close that gap. The gap between him and Taylor, though, is 77 points. The 3 classes, Silas, they're categorised based on pace. as well as they can be. We all know it's difficult, and I think the guys have done a great job at categorising it this season. It's great to see these cars just flying around there, up through Sheen Curve. Phil Reagan is right behind Matthew Forrest here in the Year 1 racing machine. Very bright cars, you don't miss them, do you? Just love listening to these machines, man. The Dallara Formula 3 car certainly does sound good. Victor Stentella's just the fastest lap of the race at 1:17.4. That's amazing stuff. Now, Taylor did have a bad first 2 rounds, but to be fair, since then he's been caught up in incidents and other things, and he's not been the quickest academy driver overall. Through Surtees then goes Victor Stentella's. Ross Nicholson and Tim Rutten have been trading purple sectors. I mean, Ross at the moment, he's holding it ahead of Bob Boland even though he's a lap down. Don't forget as well, in this race, the top 8 go through into the final, and they will fill the last 8 spots on the grid in the order that they finish in this race. So we've already got the top 16 from both of the first 2 heats. The first heat, the top 8 from that one will populate the grid 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, etc. as Ross Nicholson does the fastest lap of the race. The second heat will populate the grid 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, and so on. But then from 17th down to 24th, it'll be these lot, the top 8 from this race. These are the closest 2 on the track at the moment, though. John Tusting looking back now at Carn Newen. Carn still trying to gain places here and gain points in the championship. I'm sorry, everybody. I pressed the button there to unmute my microphone, and it didn't do it. So I was talking to myself for a minute there. I was just saying that John Tusting and Carn Newen have been doing almost identical laps for the last couple of laps here. So this is really going to be a case of who blinks first. The SEC racing machine on its way. Oh no, Ollie, I've already finished the ice cream, mate. Don't you worry. It was the last of the ice cream that I got down me before because it was all melted at the bottom. The ice cream is long gone. Oh, I don't drink on the job, Hans. Not tonight, anyway. No, we're on Coke Zero this evening. Wonderful. These are the 2 closest cars on track. Everybody else is over 2 seconds apart at the minute. So it's John Tusting. Unfortunately, the livery not showing on that car. I am a man of culture, Ollie. Have you seen my man cave? Have you seen where I spend all my time? No, in all seriousness though, if you haven't seen my office, I had a large flex yesterday and posted a picture of my almost completed office. If you want to go and see it, you can check out Chaz Draycott Media on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter. But this now is developing into a battle because Khan Newton is closing in, really closing in. At the moment, though, that gap is extending. Khan Newton didn't really get the run there. Good walls. What do you mean, Louis? It's what's it called? The soundproof foaming. That's just blocks of foam that I bought off Amazon. A lot of it. And yes, Taylor, I do hope to do more videos like that. The Chaslington Watches series was quite fun. Watching the MX-5s with full swearing in the commentary and everything. Watching bottom split MX-5s was great. It was a lot of fun. I did have, now this, I'm gonna give you a bit of an insight here, just while we've got a bit of a lull here in this chase going on. Bit of an insight of a plan I have going forward, other than the BeamNG Hot Lap series, which if you haven't seen, please do go check out. I do actually plan on doing a sort of podcast style commentary over these bottom split MX-5 races and do a bit of an interview with different people from the world of sim racing, while we just both sit and watch the race and just laugh at the drivers. Not that we should sort of, you know, what's it called, discourage people from driving in iRacing. It's just sometimes they are entertaining to watch. We don't mean to be harsh on the drivers, but we all know someone that's not very good. They're all out there still trying to do their best. Yeah, some of the DCS videos were pretty bad. Anyway, there's a race going on at the minute. Khan Newton is still... He's got this yo-yo effect going on here, trying to catch John Tusting in the SCC racing machine. Through the left-hander he goes. That's Graham Hill Bend, and it doesn't look that difficult from the outside, but it really is a hard part of the circuit to get right. Highest placed car, by the way, that's pitted so far is Victor Belaya Centelles. There you go. Michael Fisher hasn't pitted yet, and he's behind Centelles and Werrell. There is Mr. Werrell, and there, going slowly. Is that Greg Parmenter? It is. He's just letting Jack go through. Ah, yeah, BeamNG is a lot of fun. I do enjoy that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Louis. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, Hans, if you do enjoy Beam, then yeah, go and have a look at the video on my YouTube channel. There will be more. I am doing a series of it. It's a lot of hot laps in different variations of all the cars in Beam. And you'll see, Khan Newton has given up and gone in the pits. I say given up. He's probably just thinking, right, let's try and get in some clear air. As Greg Parmenter's had an issue. Oh, sorry, this was just before. Wow! He's done a rotten. He's right in the middle of the circuit. This was just before we saw him letting Werrell go past. Wow, that's a scary, scary moment there for Greg Parmenter. Now, Victor Centelles has just gone through past Khan Newton. Werrell is 26, 27 seconds back, though. Or he was by the time Khan came out the pits. No, it's like 9 seconds, I think, the gap now. Yeah, it is. So, Victor Centelles remains to be the highest placed car that's pitted. This is Tim Rutten chasing down Michael Fisher. And chasing down, he's hunting him down. Look at that. A lot of pace from Tim there. His car's all out of shape. But he holds on to it. Nice stuff from Tim. He's really come on since Season 1. He gave us a very memorable accident at the end of last season with Jack Werrell. Pushed him up Eau Rouge and over Radion. Didn't realise how close he was to the back of it, and it was an almighty crash. With Jack Werrell being flipped over multiple times, the car was destroyed. Bod Boland comes in the pits then. Hopefully cleans it up. Chris Roberts crosses the line to go second. Well, take the lead, actually, sorry. John Tusting is now second. Matt Forrest goes through as well. He's gained 8 places so far as Matt Forrest. What a great drive he's having. Phil Reagan also going through. Now, where is Victor Centelles? Here he is. And Bob Boland has just left the pit lane. There he is. So Victor Santella doing a good job, though, to bring this back. I mean, the gap is only 2.3 seconds back to Bob Boland. So he's doing everything right at the moment. It takes time to really nail it around Brands Hatch. It takes a lot of patience. It's not a circuit that you can just attack and stick to every single time. This is Victor Santella's, though, just circulating at the moment, doing everything he needs to do. This is one of the main things here. You need to just keep your calm around this circuit. It's not easy to do at all. Right then, John Tusting is in the pits, so too is Matt Forrest, and so is Phil Regan. That means that Bob Boland is going to go through. You'll see him on the side of your shot. That's actually, yes, that is Bob Boland. There's Victor Santella's. Thank you very much, Hans. Much appreciated, mate. My subscriber count on YouTube is very low. I'm a very lowly YouTuber. Chris Roberts is now the highest placed car in the field, but he has not pitted yet. He's got 13.9 seconds over the car behind. Tim Rutten's done a purple sector 4, but we've got Carl Newen off the circuit, straight out the pits. No, sorry, he came in last time. Oh, just at the compression at the bottom of the hill. Car goes around. Does he hit the wall? No. Just about keeps it out the wall. And he has recovered. Don't forget the top 8 go through, so Tim Rutten, 8th at the moment. Matt Forrest is now just coming out of the pit lane in 9th place. And Ross Nicholson is going to be 10th. So Michael Fisher is currently in 4th place in the Academy class. Parmenter is in 5th. Carl Newen still holds on to 3rd. Phil Regan 2nd. And the one we need to watch, though, is Chris Roberts coming out of the pits. He needs to get through into that feature race. It's going to be the important one. Carl Newen has lost out to Tim Rutten as well. Tim's got past him on that previous lap. Carrying a lot of speed around there, very wide of the apex. Carl Newen, though, has 29 seconds over Matt Forrest, so he's pretty safe at the moment, it seems. But I'm wondering, now Jack Werrell and Victor Santella's, don't forget, we got told earlier, you can't pit on lap 1 and make it to the end, so I'm intrigued to see how Werrell gets on here. Intrigued to see how this lasts. John Tusting 4th at the moment in the 199 car. He's had a bit of an up and down season, as John. From what I know, though, he's really enjoyed it. The drivers have been given a lot of feedback on the Simracersworld Discord server as well. I'm just loving being the broadcaster for this series, though, honestly. It's been a lot of fun. I'm sorry, have I missed the point there a little bit, guys? Oh, no! That's Rutten and Regan. Matt Forrest just gone off as well. Was there contact there? I think Regan's car was already going around. We'll have to see it again. See it in slow-mo from the chopper because I don't know if there was contact or not. Regan was closing very closely. Nah, the car's already gone around. It was Rutten closing closely, sorry. Oh, the broadcast will be fine without me. Don't you worry, Taylor. Don't you worry. Ah, right, I see. Okay, sorry, Louis. I'm sorry on that one, Bart. That's me being an idiot. Final lap of the race already for Bod Boland. Great stuff for him. He'll be over the moon about this. What a turnaround. Victor Centelles, though, he's holding on well in second place. John Tusting in fourth. Any more real-life stuff lined up? Yes. Thanks very much, Ollie. I was very pleased with going to the Nordschleife. It was great. Maybe, Bart? Yes. If I'm free, then count me in, mate. If I'm free, then count me in. This is a good little battle going on. They may not be making it through after this, but Matt Forrest and Ross Nicholson are glued together. Real life stuff though, Ollie. Yes, I have a couple of things lined up. Only really one that I can tell you about at the moment, which was booked yesterday. Which next weekend I'm off to Daytona Milton Keynes to cover. They've got a D-Max event on. Bod Boland, by the way, he's not got a D-Max event on, but we don't care about D-Max now. Boland wins. Centelles second. Roberts third, ahead of John Tusting in fourth. And Wack Gerald is going to make it through by gaining fifth place there. Tim Rutten doing purple sectors on the final lap of the race. Go on, Tim. Great stuff from him. Awesome stuff. Carn Newen makes it through. And Phil Reagan, I think this will be the first time this season, Phil Reagan makes it through into the feature race. And yes, that was, yeah, Ollie, honestly, that was phenomenal. I went and met Jack Crawford afterwards, and he was a bit confused as to who I was and what I was doing there. I did explain, but we had a brief chat afterwards. I just asked him a few questions, and he gave me one-word answers. It was great. But no, it was good to meet Jack, and, you know, it was amazing to see him get a win. It was really, really exciting. This is Michael Fisher. Who's going to be one of the last drivers to cross the line in this one. Wack Gerald. Now, I've called him Wack Gerald for a long time, Matthew. One of the first nicknames I ever gave him when I met him. So that is the Consolation race done with then, everybody. The Consolation race completed. And now the drivers have a 10-minute warm-up session, which will give them a bit of time to get used to the circuit again and how it's developed over the evening. It also gives me a chance to go and have a quick drink. A non-alcoholic drink, of course. I'm not an idiot. I have to clarify now, don't I? I don't mean that people that drink are idiots. I just mean I'm not drinking on the job, okay? How to get yourself in trouble, 101 with Chaz. Right, guys. Give me a little bit of time, and I will be back with you very, very soon. Give it maybe 5 minutes. I'm just trying to get the timer to come up. Looks like the overlay doesn't want to be my friend at the moment. Okay. There you go. Right then. I'll be back in a few. I'm going to go get a drink. See you in a minute. See, I click on focus on crashes. There you go. It was looking at Jack Werrell. Back in a minute. What's so funny about the music, boys? Hello again. Chaz Draycott here with the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. Drivers just out on track now for their warm-up session ahead of the feature race, which will round out the evening. And what a great evening we've had so far, eh? It's been a lot of fun, hasn't it? This is Mark Fletcher for Altitude Esports, by the way, who's been flying tonight on his debut. Him and his new team, Altitude Esports, have been doing a great job so far this season. Since becoming a thing. And I wish them all the best with it. So, let's talk championships. Josh Clogg. He could walk away with the Consistency Class Championship this evening. His teammate, Taylor Lane, who's very busy practicing, could take the Academy Class Championship. And I've also got to check. There's a Smooth Operator Award, which is also called the Suelio Almeida Challenge for gaining the most places, I think it is. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I think it was John Tusting that was leading that one previously. We've got a car off. Ben Hoffman. That's not going to be comfy in one of these cars. Josh Clogg has just pulled over to the side as well. Look at the speed that Bart Delman was carrying around there. That's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting stuff, Bart Delman. Also, you've probably heard me play this song a few times on my streams, but this is really... it's a banger. It's by Ice Cold and Molly Ann, and it's the Brooks remix of the song Close. So, Arthur Fry then. What do we reckon? What do we reckon for Arthur Fry getting a win in this feature? Because he's been great this season, hasn't he? What do you all think? Two minutes to go in this warm-up session then. Look at Arthur wringing the neck of this Dallara. Flying at the minute, doing a great job of it. And it's great that he's just a privateer in this championship, no special livery or anything, just turns up and does the job. It's brilliant to watch. Right then, we've got a minute and a half. There's Holger Meifert in the WS Racing Esports machine. Two drivers really to keep an eye on though. Ben Hoffman, who's chasing Josh Clogg for the Consistency Class Championship, with a gap of 44 points between the two of them. While Taylor Lane is being chased by Chris Roberts of Virtual Racing Compound for that title. Hopefully, we can speak to each of the eventual champions at the end. Adrian Falcon has also said he will try and be in for an interview later on. Which is always nice. It's good to speak to your champion-elect. The gloves are off for him, really, this race meet, and he doesn't need to go proving anything, but it'd be great to round out his season with a win. He's practicing his pit entry. Nice and tidy that was. Under 30 seconds to go then here in the warm-up. Everybody in the YouTube chat, in the Facebook chat, let me know what is, or who is, your pick for this race win in the feature. What do you reckon? Right then. It's time to get a move on, isn't it? Hansy, you reckon? Hansy? Interesting. Well, here's your grid then. Arthur Fry from Matthew Crisp, Adrian Falcon, Bart Daleman, Mark Fletcher and Ben White, Kevin Zemstra and James Forsythe, then Ben Hoffman and Josh Clogg, title rivals on the same row. Wayne Palmer and Taylor Lane on row 6, with Hans Polmans and Brian Loynes, then Holger Meifert and Louis Correa. Sorry, I'll shut the music up. Then it's Bod Boland and Victor Centelles, Chris Roberts and John Tusting, Jack Werrell and Tim Rutten, then Carl Newen and Phil Regan at the back of the grid. So, the championship fighters are Ben Hoffman and Josh Clogg on the 4th row of the grid, Taylor Lane just behind them, and then Chris Roberts going for that. But Arthur Fry starts on pole alongside Matthew Crisp, Adrian Falcon and Bart Daleman. And the feature race, the final one of the season, is underway. Looks like a really, really good start from Arthur Fry. Matthew Crisp didn't get away as well as he would have liked. Let's see how they all filter their way through. Nice and tidy through there by the look of it. Keep our eye on what goes on at the top of the hill. Anybody going around? Looking at Whack Gerald, but no, it all looks good. Arthur Fry certainly looks good at the front. Matthew Crisp behind him, then it's Adrian Falcon and Bart Daleman. Bart was tipped as one of the favourites for this championship before it got going. He was very quick last season. There's Josh Clogg and Taylor Lane down the inside of Wayne Palmer. Very importantly, Josh Clogg just needs to stay right behind Ben Hoffman to win this championship, and Taylor Lane is doing everything at the moment he needs to do to get ahead of Chris Roberts and take his title. Chris Roberts is down in 21st place. He's lost 2 places off the start. And Taylor Lane, oh, he lit up on my timing screen then as he went off the circuit. That's a scary moment for him. Holger Meifert is off big time. Oh, there's a car around as well in there. Trying to click on him. Tim Rutten's off. Oh, what happened to Holger Meifert? Oh, we've got cars off ahead. Wayne Palmer in there. Jack Werrell. Brian Loynes in there as well. Hans Polmans is off. Oh, there's cars everywhere, boys. Chris Roberts is off. Championship contender Chris Roberts off on lap 1. It's all kicked off. I want to see what happened here. Tim Rutten. Oh, there's contact ahead. Bod Boland. Oh, then Chris Roberts gets the contact with Tim Rutten. Or was that Jack Werrell? I think it was Jack Werrell. Then there's a car around in the middle of the circuit. Hans Polmans just clips him. Bit of a moment from Phil Regan, and wow, Chris Roberts gets involved big time. So it was Victor Centelles. Bod Boland got a hit off Werrell. Werrell went to the left and made contact with Chris Roberts. Hans Polman's got a hit off one of the Sim Stickers cars that seemed to come together as well. It was all kicking off. Phil Regan's had a moment. He's trying to get going again. Bit by bit, he's just scraping it along the wall here. Come on, Phil. What happened here? Was it just a spin on his own? Oh, just a bit of the grass. And, oh, it's going to break the front. It's broken the front left, that has. Anyway, whew, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Ben White, currently just ahead of his teammate James Forsythe. Yeah, where is Kevin Zemstra? Where is Kevin Zemstra? Yeah, they did all pit early. So Chris Roberts is pitted. John Tusting's just had an issue. Oh, big issue for John. John Tusting has had a massive issue. This is with Matthew Crisp. It's the 99 and the 199. Oh, a little bit of a tap. And John gets pushed out of the way. Bod Boland has gone off as well. Oh, this is not good for Chris Roberts. That car will not be behaving itself. I think he's had another accident, has he, since? I think so. He has. Oh, he's done exactly what Phil Regan did. He's going to hit the wall backwards. Oh, no. It's broken the wing. And he needs to get that car in. It's completely wrecked the back end. So that pretty much confirms at the moment that Taylor Lane will be the Academy Class champion in the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. I'll bring up the pit stops on the left so you can see that Matthew Crisp is the highest placed driver that's pitted so far. So too is Jack Werrell, Victor Centelles, and Kevin Zemstra. And then Josh Clogg, who could also be champion of his class. But it all depends on what Ben Hoffman can do. Mark Fletcher, by the way, 3rd place. Fastest lap of the race at the moment. He's chasing down champion-elect Adrian Falcon. He's got Bart Delman behind him, then James Forsyke. Biggest mover in the field at the moment, Tim Rutten. He's gained 12 places. Jack Werrell before his pit stop had gained 11. Maybe they just wanted to pit early though, Ollie, just to get out of the traffic for a little bit, try and get some clear air. White is now behind Forsyke, and then he's got Hoffman behind him. So the 3 Year 1 Racing Alpha Live cars all together on track. Nice bit of branding there for Graham Sesford. Here's Adrian, and there behind him is Mark Fletcher, who's made a great impact on this championship. Straight in and straight on with it goes Mark. Victor Centellas isn't far behind Jack Werrell a bit further down as well, so both the Exodus Racing cars getting on it. Looks like Jack won't be able to hold Victor off for long. Victor's been known this season for being very aggressive, sometimes a little bit clumsy. But he's been very entertaining from a broadcasting perspective. Fletcher again does the fastest lap of the race, a 1:16.5. Don't forget, he did a 1:15.9 in his heat. Jack's trying everything he can to hold on at the moment. It's not easy against a driver as quick as Victor. One way then the other. He's very erratic, isn't he? Down the straight they go. I think if anything, Victor sort of hindered his line there through the last corner and through turn 1. Look at that. Going very wide through that. Trading purple sectors at the moment is Mark Fletcher, Bart Daleman and Adrian Falcon. A bit further up as well, Hans Polmans is just ahead of Matthew Crisp. Don't forget though, Matt's pitted and Hans hasn't. And a bit further up as well, this Year 1 Racing Alpha Live battle still going on really, really aggressively. Arthur Fry, fastest lap for him. Mark Fletcher, fastest lap of the race again. Only just quicker than Adrian Falcon. But still, this chase is on now. Go on, Mark. Be good to see Mark get a strong result here. He finished third in his heat. He's now third in the feature, and he's showing that he is no slouch in these cars. Don't forget, Apex Racing League American GT champion is Mark Fletcher. He's a top lad. Oh, Adrian Falcon all over the grass in front of him. This has got to be his chance now. Down the straight they go, down Pilgrim's Drop. Up the hill towards Hawthorne's long right-hander. Carries it all the way around the outside. What a move. Beautiful stuff from Mark Fletcher. Adrian Falcon, great commitment as well to hold it down there, but good respect to give him the space. Leave it the space, as his countryman once said. Apologies, we've got the old spec map on Adrian's car. Look how close this got. That's brilliant. Brilliant stuff from both drivers there, but Mark Fletcher takes the place. Well, he's turned up and made an impression, hasn't he? One of the moves of the season. Chris Roberts is having another issue, and I think this is his championship and his evening over. He's going to tow back to the pits, is he? Is he? He's going to be gutted. And yeah, there he goes. Matthew Crisp just goes past Hans Polmans. So, that means, everybody, Taylor Lane, claps in chat, please. It's pretty much confirmed now that Taylor is your Sim Stickers Sim Racers World Formula 3 Series Academy Class Champion. Epic stuff. Very well done to Taylor. He's had a very untouchable season. Oh, as Victor Centellas just makes the most of the fact that iRacing doesn't simulate flat spots. He's still trying to chase Jack Werrell though. Still trying to get through. Ben Hoffman, he's doing alright in the moment, in 7th place overall, you know. He's going to gain quite a lot of points on Josh Clogg, but I just don't know if it'll be enough. I think Josh pretty much just has to finish this race to take the title in the consistency class. Fletcher is now within a second. He's done the fastest lap of the race again. 5/10, half a second quicker than Arthur Fry. So Mark is truly on a mission now. What a debut this would be, wouldn't it, everybody? If Mark can turn up to the championship and take a feature race win against the likes of Adrian Falcon, Arthur Fry, Bart Daleman, Matthew Crisp, Kevin Zemstra, who doesn't seem to be making as much progress as we'd hoped here, you know. He's down in 17th position. He's just nowhere in this fight. Not sure why either. This is looking like a very spicy battle at the front though, because Adrian Falcon is chasing Mark Fletcher and they're both catching Arthur Fry. Sparks off the front of the car there as he goes over the curb. Through Sterling's. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in pace there. Mark Fletcher around the outside then into clearways on Arthur Fry, and again round the outside. Mark Fletcher takes the race lead out of nowhere. Just that little mistake from Arthur. That's all that it takes, you know. Goes in a little bit too hot. I didn't think he'd gain that much from it, though, through Sterling's, but the difference was massive, as Adrian Falcon has now gone down the inside of Mark as well. This is a four-way battle for the lead here with Bart Daleman joining in. Adrian Falcon gets it done, passes Arthur Fry, and then passes Mark Fletcher. Look at this. Down the inside he goes. Oh, Mark got on the gravel. Adrian says, right, there's a gap on the inside. Mark gives him plenty of room. Nice and respectful stuff. And it's still going on. Wow. What a battle we've got here, everybody. Arthur Fry right behind Fletcher now. And this is going to mean that Adrian Falcon can break away, though, if these guys continue fighting the way they are. But what a debut for this championship for Altitude Esports. Unfortunately, Louis Correa has dropped. Well, he's gone up to the top of the timing screen temporarily, but he's in the pits after having an accident. Have a quick look as Bart Daleman having a quick look down the inside of Arthur Fry. Side by side they go down the straight here at Brands. Yeah, Matthew Crisp is 0.6 of a second behind Brian Loynes. He's not able to lap at his ultimate pace at the minute. Although I say that, he's done the fastest lap of the race. What's happened to Louis Correa? He's just running wide. Oh, hits the grass. Car's in the wall. And it's broken. We all know how Lando Norris would tell you that. Well, here's Matthew Crisp then. Not too far behind Brian Loynes, but not close enough to make a move or do anything spectacular yet. This top four is now spread out a little bit, but Bart Daleman, it's great to have Bart back in the championship. Series organiser. Done an epic job with it this season as Bart, and he's been ill for a couple of weeks, so we are very, very pleased to see him back on the grid and back involved in keeping everything running smoothly on the night. Top 10 drivers so far, though, have not pitted. It's an interesting one for you. Top 10 not pitted. Jack Werrell has had an issue. Oh, Victor Centellis barges his way through. Oh, heck. Kevin Zemstra has just got past Louis Correa. Let's have a look what happens here. Oh, Victor runs just a little bit wide. It was all fair game. And he's now flying. Arthur Fry and Bart Daleman in the pits, which means Mark Fletcher and Adrian Falcon are relinquished to go and run away as quickly as they can. Let's see what happens here between these two. Arthur gains quite a bit of time there on Bart Daleman. Good job. Matthew Crisp has gone through, though. Very importantly, Matthew Crisp is 2 seconds up the road. So he is the highest placed driver that's pitted at the moment. There he is. He's got Brian Loynes 0.9 of a second ahead, and then Tim Rutten. Tim Rutten, by the way, 15 places gained in this race so far. What a great drive for him. Chris Roberts joins us in the YouTube chat. Chris, I do feel for you, mate. It's such a shame. It's been a great championship fight from you, buddy, and it's good to see you guys up there as well. This, by the way, is a battle for position, but nearly a lap down. This is Holger Meifert and Wayne Palmer for 18th and 19th. Holger Meifert goes through. Tim Rutten now He's up against Brian Loynes. As Brian's run wide. No, sorry, that's his teammate. That's Wayne Palmer. Brian Loynes is the 23 right behind him, but Matthew Crisp needs to get rid of this. He needs to get through it quickly. Tim Rutten says, all right, then there you go. Tim jumps out of the way. But these two are in the same class now, Loynes and Crisp. Bart Daleman becomes the third highest placed car that is pitted. Taylor Lane is on his way out, but Carn Newen gets through. Overtakes him for overall position. We'll have to see what Taylor can do now. Back to this, though. We're just at the halfway point of this race. And it's Brian Loynes who has become a bit of a cork in the bottle here for Matthew Crisp, because Arthur Fry is right behind him now. This could turn out to be the fight for the overall race win in this one. Really hope you're enjoying the show, though, everybody. We've got plenty going on now in this feature race. And let us all know what you would expect from a third season of this. I'd be very, very happy to cover it. As Bart already knows, and the guys at Simracersworld TV already know, Matthew Crisp is getting desperate here. He feels forced to show his hand, probably the back of his hand, to Brian Loynes. Ready to slap him. Oh, he's ready to nudge him. Brian Loynes gets out of the way. He thinks, nah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. But if we look back, there is the pink helmet himself, Arthur Fry. It's not a nickname that he's asked for. Around the outside at Paddock Hill Bend. You've got to have your pink helmet out to do that. Oh, no, Arthur, no! That's a massive accident. Oh, well, the pink helmet has very much retracted, I'm sure. Along with something else. Oh, it goes one way, just over corrects. Smacks it into the wall, breaks it. And then into the wall on the other side as well. Arthur Fry's race is done, I'm afraid. That's such a shame. And Mark Fletcher has come out ahead of these guys. 1.8 seconds. So Mark Fletcher effectively leading the way. Apologies, I clicked on Arthur Fry by mistake. Here's Brian Loynes trying to hold off Victor Centelles. Adrian Falcon in the pit lane. Here you go then. What's James Forsyth going to do? He's the next car on track. Slows it down. Yep, that's a pit entrance if I've ever seen one. What about Ben White? Same for him. Ben Hoffman? Yes, same for him. So that means that everyone will have pitted now. So Josh Clogg needs to keep an eye on where Ben Hoffman was. But there goes Mark Fletcher. Is he going to overtake Adrian Falcon? He is! Mark Fletcher retakes the race lead. Beautiful stuff. Now, will he run out of fuel at the end? Let's see. Where is Ben Hoffman? Well, he's right behind Ben White for one. Where is Josh Clogg? Josh Clogg is almost a lap down. Josh Clogg had a 44-second pit stop, surely for speeding in the pits. That's crazy. Brian Loynes. Woohoo! That was a scary one. That was a very scary one. So now, between the leaders, we don't really have anything. Adrian Falcon just ahead of Matthew Crisp. But that's the top three on your screen there. Very close. Victor Centelles and Brian Loynes. No, the difference in the pit stop, Hopeman, would have been down to maybe speeding in the pits, getting a 40-second penalty for an unsafe pit entrance, which you can very easily get here at Brands Hatch. It is a bit picky, so that may have been the difference. Just trying to look at the points difference here. Oh, that's a moment for Victor Centelles. That's not good. That's not what you want. Here's Ben Hoffman then, who, if he finishes in 7th, will get 90 points. And where Clogg is at the minute in 14th, he'll get 64 points. So the gap will only go down by 26. So even if it finishes this way at the moment, Josh Clogg will still be the champion of that class. Brian Loynes has been involved in every battle under the sun tonight, though, hasn't he? Trying everything, everywhere. He's got Tim Rutten ahead of him. 13 places gained at the moment. Hats off to Tim Rutten, because I must say, we've not really got a driver of the day or a driver of the season, but Tim Rutten will be up there for me because his improvement from Season 1 has been phenomenal. And obviously he's in the Simracersworld F3 livery as well. So that bags him extra points. That line through there isn't going to bag him extra points, though, I'm afraid. Back at the front, though, Mark Fletcher leads it from Adrian Falcon and Matthew Crisp. Bart Daleman just at the top of his shot there. Phil Reagan is back in the pits. Oh, Phil Reagan's out of the race. What's happened to Phil? Oh, he's going to clip the gravel on the exit. Oh, the compression gets the better of him, and that's going in backwards. Oh, and that's broken the rear of the car. And that's going to be the end of that one for Phil, I'm afraid. He gets through to the feature, I think, for the first time this season. But it doesn't finish the way he would have wanted. So Mark Fletcher is on his way to doing what no one's done yet. And that's turn up halfway through a season and win a feature race. That'd be pretty amazing. Going back to this battle between Brian Loynes and the unstoppable, it seems, Tim Rutten. Brian's going to give it a go, though, in trying to stop him. Around the long right-hander they go. Such a flowing circuit, isn't it, Brands Hatch? I don't know how people can't like Brands Hatch. I know it's a very difficult track to get right. Oh, Victor Santeles, he is not scared of pushing this car to the limit, is he? We've seen him doing this a lot. He really does push that car to the limit. He is an exciting driver to watch, that is for sure. Here's Ben White on the back of James Forsythe. These two Year 1 Racing Alpha Live cars right together, both in the consistency class as well. Ah. And Josh cut the pit lane entry, it seems. Thank you very much for the confirmation, guys. Battle at the front, though, is so close between these three. No, we should look at this, really. No? There you go. Apologies. So close, though. So even as well between the three of them. It's been flirting with 4 to 6 tenths of a second either way so far for the last lap or so. And I know that the... Oh, Bod Boland, no! Bod Boland has had an issue. Oh, he's around. Manages to keep it out the wall, though. Tries to rotate it. Gets going again. Oh, it's Adrian. Whoa, that's a moment save for Matthew Crisp as well. We've said before that his pants will be crisp after a moment like that. Imagine his backside was going like a thing, or maybe one of these. No? There you go. God's sake. I try to be funny and use a stream deck to my advantage, and it takes like 5 seconds to load a sound clip. Thanks, you piece of... Anyway, Matthew Crisp, he's got all the opportunities in front of him here. He just needs to keep his calm now. Whoa. Nearly fell off my desk then. But this is one of the closest battles for a feature race win that we've seen in a while. There's a great chase that's going on such a circuit as well. It's not easy to overtake here. I am sat on my desk, Ollie. I squat over my monitors to do this. Can you not tell by the tension in my voice? That's how this works, mate. Hans Polmans has just moved up the order. He's trying to get past Victor Centelles. Victor's saying not on your life. Bit of a crossover. Nice stuff from Hans Polmans. Down the inside he goes. And onto the brakes into Surtees. Great stuff. And the Flemish Sim Sports driver goes through. Tim Rutten and Brian Loynes are together as well, just a moment away. I did get some funny looks at the Nordschleife. I did. I turned up and I was thinking, why is there a chair here? I don't need that. Climbed on the desk, took my top off, got on with it. Nah, it's all part of the job, mate. It's part of the job. These two are having a fantastic fight at the moment, though. Hans Polmans and Victor Centelles. They've swapped positions 8 times in the last lap. According to the timing screen, anyway. We're on lap 20 of 24 here at Brands Hatch. 4 laps of the season left to go after this one. It's quite sad, really, isn't it? Oh, Victor's got a bit wide into Paddock Hill Bend. Hans is going to try and take advantage. If Hans gets any closer, he'll need a Hans device. Look at how just closely matched they are on pace, though. Different lines into Surtees. You always see that no matter what. Now into the slipstream goes the Belgian. Down the left-hand side. Onto the brakes. Top of the hill. Round the outside. Hans Polmans. If Mark Fletcher can do it, I can do it too, he says. Watch that. Oh, he's chucked it in really hard, though. That car looked like it was all out of shape. Manages to hold on. And yes, Ollie, 3 championships, mate. You're going to win the team's championship, aren't you, as well? And then Taylor will be winning the Academy Class Championship. And Josh Clogg in car 114, in position 14, will be on course to win the Consistency Class Championship. Great stuff. Hans has not got rid of Victor Centelles yet. He's got a lot more work to do if he wants to do that. We know that Victor is not a driver you can just shake off. You can't just get rid of him. Mark Fletcher also as well. He's only 7 tenths ahead. There he is. 7 tenths ahead of Victor Centelles. Not Centelles, sorry, Adrian Falcon. We were just talking about Victor, weren't we? Oh yeah, honestly, for Adrian to do what he's done and get it done with a round to go in a championship where you can score as many points as this, that's just unheard of. It's great. Really great. He's just been so consistent all season. There was that one little moment at Alton Park where he had a little accident. Not in his pants, he ran wide. But since then, just with that, it's that Senna-esque helmet design, isn't it? Just the contrast of that bright yellow lid in that car that's black and blue. I imagine his arms are black and blue at the moment after how hard he's pushing to try and get back past Mark Fletcher. But it's just awesome. Really is awesome by Adrian Falcon. His lowest finish was 3rd. Wow. I didn't realise that. That's crazy. That is consistency. That really is. Well, I guess you could say it's precision. Here is Centelles then, chasing Polmans. One thing I must compliment Victor on is the stability of his internet connection, which is a lot better than normal. So the Exodus Racing driver is obviously invested in somewhere. So we're going to show you the overall gaps on the left-hand side as well. Just so you can see those that are a lap down or a minute down, like Josh Clogg, 1 minute 12 seconds off the lead. It does update very quickly, that, doesn't it? It's not the easiest to keep on with. So, Only a couple of laps left to go this season, and Mark Fletcher for Altitude Esports is showing everybody what to expect when he undoubtedly returns for Season 3. Oh, Holden Meifert, what's happened here, mate? Oh, we've seen that before, haven't we? Again, another driver to drop it down there and not hit the wall. That's pretty wonderful, and you can see him, look, being patient, waiting for cars to turn around, or get past, sorry, before he turns the car around. But Fletcher has one more lap to go, with Adrian Falcon and Matthew Crisp just behind. And this will be one hell of a debut. I think it's Ashley Beard as well that races with Mark at Altitude Esports. The two of them getting on very well and doing a great job of what they do. They won I think it was an endurance race at Donington Park in the week, or the previous week, in their Ferrari 488. I think it was the first win for the team as well, so if Mark carries on the way he's going, he's going to add another brilliant accolade onto that team's very short history, but very successful one already. Victor Centelles. Will he get past Polmans at the end? Place your bets now, everybody. Here's Fletcher, Falcon and Crisp once again then. Down Pilgrim's drop for the final time. Up towards Hawthorns. The number 11 then heads toward Westfield. Chucks it into the right. Falcon looking aggressive on this final lap, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Up through Sheen Curve. Over Sterling's. Look at how close Falcon was to running wide there. They're all absolutely on the edge here. Into clearways for the final time though. Out from under the bridge. It's closed up a lot. Oh, Victor Centelles has gone off the circuit in the background, but Mark Fletcher on his debut. What a win, Sunshine. Fantastic. Really pleased for him. Adrian Falcon wins the championship though. Adrian Falcon is your champion, everybody. Massive claps in chat for the Exodus Racing driver. Matthew Crisp, third place. Bart Daleman, series organiser, fourth. James Forsythe is going to be in fifth. And behind him is Ben White. And Ben Hoffman finishes second in the Consistency Class Championship. Very well done. And there is your Academy Class champion. You can tell that he's happy. It's Taylor Lane, everybody. Amazing job. 12 places gained for Tim Rutten. What a drive. Into the top 10. Victor Centelles, unfortunately, doesn't pass Polmans at the end. Kevin Zemstra is 4 seconds back for 13th place. Then Josh Clogg is going to be the next driver for position that's going to cross the line, but he gets a bit of airtime on the way there. But with only a couple more corners to go, everybody at Fiercely Forward, who have won the team's championship, by the way, well done to Fiercely Forward on that. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing achievement. But round the final corner, Josh Clogg takes the Consistency Class Championship. Very well done. Amazing stuff to have after almost taking the title last season. Great achievement for Josh Clogg. But not to take anything away from everybody else. But there you go. A bit of fun at the end as well. Mark Fletcher's car in absolute pieces now after being collected by Phil Reagan. It wouldn't be Phil if he wasn't having a crash, would it? As they're all having a bit of argy-bargy. But in the middle of it all, there is Adrian Falcon, your overall champion, everybody. What a guy. And what a performance all season long. But there is your race result, and Mark Fletcher takes the win on his debut here in the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. And it's Adrian Falcon and Matthew Crisp rounding out the podium, less than a second between all three of them. A few seconds back from them was Bart Daleman. James Forsythe finishes fifth. Then it's Ben White, wins the Consistency Class on this occasion, just ahead of Ben Hoffman. Great drive from him this season. Taylor Lane, your Academy Class champion, finishes 8th overall. Brian Loynes was 9th. And Tim Rutten, great drive to get into the top 10, like I said. Hans Polman's 11th, just holds on. Kevin Zemstra recovers to 12th ahead of his teammate Josh Clogg. Victor Centelles was the last car to finish on the lead lap. We then have Carn Newen 15th ahead of John Tusting and Bod Boland, with Holger Meifert also a lap down as well. Behind him was Wayne Palmer, the last car that was only 1 lap down. Then Phil Reagan was 6 laps down with Arthur Fry. Unfortunately, after that massive accident, 12 laps down. Jack Werrell 13 laps down, Louis Correa 16 laps down, and Chris Roberts was the first retirement of that race, I'm afraid. But he's had a very strong season as well, so well done to him. So, we can now go back to the very start of the race, and I'm going to have a quick look in the interview booth, and well, somebody that I've wanted to speak to all season, and finally I get the chance. It's an honour. Adrian Falcon joins me in the chat. Adrian, just first off, congratulations. It's been an incredible season for you, but you must be very happy with how that went, because your lowest finish all season was 3rd place. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good night first.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. It's been an amazing championship, really. I didn't expect me to perform like that, and yeah, very good.
And what have you made with the whole format of this championship and how the heat racing works? Have you enjoyed how it all sort of comes together?
Yeah, it's quite interesting, and everyone fights hard but fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting.
And will you be back next season with the big number 1 on your car, do you reckon?
Yes, of course.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Obviously, you've had a very strong season all the way through anyway, but just for everybody watching as well, I mean, they'll be interested to know, what would your highlight of the season be? What would your favourite moment be?
I don't know, really. Maybe at Silverstone.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't know that if I won, I could have been champion. So, when my teammate said me at the end of the race, I was, I don't know. Yeah.
It's pretty epic, mate. I won't lie. It's been a joy to watch. Really has this season. I mean, from the very first round, where you just dominated at Phillip Island, to even tonight, you know, Mark Fletcher was a great debut for him, but just the fact that you've always been there, you've been on the podium at every single round this season, it really is incredible. So, I mean, before we let you go tonight, Adrian, do you want to give a shout out to anybody while you're on stream?
Yeah, I want to thank to my teammate Victor Bolea and to another friend, Markel Biota, who always watch the race, and it's also helping us at the races.
Fantastic. Well, again, from me and everybody at Simracersworld, Adrian, very well done this season. It's been fantastic, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Great to speak to our new champion there. And, well, speaking of champions, we may as well drag another one in. He may not have had the most glamorous of races that time round, but Josh Clogg is your, Season 2 consistency class champion. Josh, you must be very pleased with that, mate, because especially with Ben being high up in the order in that one, you must have been on your toes a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely terrified of it. I had to double check the points after the race to make sure. I knew it was going to be close, but I actually ended up with 0X's both races, so I was kind of hoping to pad myself with that, but close enough. I didn't need it, but still very close. So awesome result, and pretty happy with it.
Well, talk to me as well about early on in that race. I mean, you had Taylor all over you in that one, and a couple of guys behind, just sort of waiting to get through. I mean, over the course of the evening. Sorry, you know, there was a lot of pressure behind. Did you just sort of try and work together as best as you could at that point, or was it all gloves off?
No, we definitely tried to work together. Well, I tried to. I think I was a little slower than him, but I know we both just needed to get into the feature, so it worked out. It was Taylor said he had a little bit of a worry about it, but it worked out in the end. And yeah, it was definitely tight there in that first one.
What did you make of Brands Hatch in these cars? Because it's not the easiest of circuits to overtake at, never mind just get around.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a fun track, but hard to pass, that's for sure. I know, you know, if you get a good exit in a couple corners, then you've pretty much, you know, you're pretty safe from passes. But it turned out better than last season's Brand Hatch. So
yeah, it's very true.
That's a positive to take away.
Certainly is, mate. Well, very well done to you and to Fiercely Forward as well. It's been great to see you guys take that title. You've been such a force to be reckoned with this season. It's great to finally have that wrapped up. Before we let you go, though, Josh, do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Absolutely. All the Fiercely Forward guys, all the help with, practice and lines and inputs and everything. Very helpful. Gomez Sim Industries for those fancy wheels. Can't wait to get one. Poor Sport and Opencast.
Awesome sauce. Well done, Josh. Again, from me, it's been great to watch and great to speak to you as well again. And hopefully we'll see you next season.
And to you, of course. Don't let me forget. Thank you very much, and hope to see you around.
Yeah, see you, mate.
See ya.
Josh Clogg there, absolutely lovely chap and a very deserving champion as well. And before we get our final of the champions in, I want to speak to this lad because he made his debut in this championship tonight, and I've known that. Well, he was ready to race last week. Put it this way, he sent me a message saying, "Oh, Chaz, I've not got my livery sent in. Can you sort it out?" But I was like, "Hang on, mate, you're a week early." Mark Fletcher joins me in the chat. Mark, were you expecting to win tonight, mate? That was amazing.
No, I was expecting the goal for the team was to Mark, get into the feature race. But I've just been saying to all the guys in the chat, I was like, right, you get a bit of aero wash in a Formula car, don't you? You don't get that in a GT car.
Yeah, it's like learning a completely different craft, isn't it? Going from something like that into a car like this.
Yeah, definitely. It's completely different. Like you say, completely different driving style. You have to be. It's going to sound really, really crazy, but you have to be really sensitive on the throttle. But you have to be on the edge.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. It's such a fun car to drive, though. Wow, what racing as well.
I was going to say you didn't really have a quiet race at all over the course of the evening. I mean, you had the likes of Arthur Fry around you and Adrian Falcon as well. I mean, the new champion, Adrian Falcon, he seemed to be hot on your heels. But that battle in that final race, I mean, when Arthur went off, you must have thought, oh, heck, this is coming alive.
Well, yeah, I was like, I'm leading the race, and Luke and Ross were both in the chat. They're like, right, okay, come on, let's go. Straight almost off into the gravel. And then before I know it, I'm 3 wide going up to the hairpin. I was like, right, I don't really know how wide this is, so I'm just gonna let Adrian go, and stuck with him. And then Luke nailed the pit strategy, and Ross said, right, okay, your outlap is your most important one, and luckily I came out in front, and then it was just about managing the gap, really.
And talk to me about that move around the outside of Adrian Falcon up Hawthorns as well, because I had my heart in my mouth. I'm pretty sure everyone on the stream just clicked away from it just so they didn't have to watch, but that was so close. I mean, you got it done, obviously, and Adrian just about gave you the room. There was nearly contact. I'm sure you'll probably watch it back, but were you expecting to turn it into a move around there, or did you have your eyes shut?
Yeah, I mean, I was like 90 degrees eyes shut. No, it was it was one of them where, as you've probably seen all night, it's really difficult to pass here.
Yeah.
I had to make a move in Heat 1. I thought, right, I have to take my chance. So I was alongside, and I said to Luke, I was like, mate, I've got to go for this. This is going to be my chance to try and take the lead. I know the line works from watching the guys in real life, but yeah, it was, moves like that take both drivers. You've got to trust who you're racing, and it was brilliant.
Well done on the win, mate. It was, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I don't think you were either. But that was the best thing I've seen for you recently, because I know that you've had a bit of poor luck here and there in some of the sim racing stuff. Obviously, it's been a bit of a challenge getting your new team set up as well. But what a way to make an impression on this championship, eh? That's certainly the way to do it. But before we let you go, do you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Just quickly, thank you to Bart for allowing me in as we'll call it a wild card for the last event. I'm going to be coming back for season 3,
awesome.
And I'll be bringing a couple of people with me as well. So thank you to you guys for streaming it. Chaz, you do a mega job, real life and online.
Cheers.
And to our sponsors of Altitude Esports, Sim Racing Studios, and the guys at Sim Stickers. So thank you, Paul, for all your support, and everybody else that's here.
Cracking stuff. Well, great to speak to you as always, Mark. It's always an absolute joy.
Cheers, Chaz.
And hopefully speak to you again very, very soon, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, mate. Have a good night.
And you. Cheers. What a great lad. And speaking of them, I must say, we'll move very quickly on. You could see how much it meant as he crossed the line, but your Academy class champion, Taylor Lane, joins me in the booth. Taylor, you must be over the moon, mate. I mean, we saw you chucking the car around when you crossed the line, but Can you quite believe it at this point?
No, I can't. Can you say it again, please? I
Notice
can't
my
believe
silence. No, Academy class champion, mate. You've done it. Amazing job.
I can't believe I've managed to do that. To have such a tough start to the season, got up to, I think it was like round 5 at Montreal.
Yeah.
I entered that with 6 points. So 6 points halfway through the season to winning the class at the end of it. That's insane. I can't believe it.
Well, a hell of a turnaround, mate, and it just showed the points as well, and it showed what a great sandbagging strategy you had in the first few rounds of the season. No, I'm joking. But, I mean, the whole effort from Fiercely Forward, I mean, obviously you'll agree because you're a bit biased, but, I mean, from a broadcast perspective, and everybody in the chat will agree that the whole Fiercely Forward squad has just been there the whole season. And, I mean, you've been one of them. You know, you may be in the Academy class, but tonight you were quicker than Josh Clogg around there, and he's just become consistency class champion. So are you expecting to be upper class next season?
I'm definitely expecting to be upper class. Whether it's 1 class or 2 classes is up to Bart, but I'm looking forward to hopefully taking the battle to the front guys in the consistency class next season. But if I get pushed up to precision, I'm happy to try my best to battle those, but they are just a little bit out of my reach at the minute.
Well, more reason to practice, I suppose, between seasons. But it's been an absolute joy, Taylor. Once again, mate, I mean, we go a long way back, obviously, but just to see you get that title at the end and see that it meant something to you, you know, weaving the car around, that's just that perfect show of emotion. So very well done. Before we let you go, do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my dad, Pete, and my young brother, Kit. They've been nagging me to do a shout out for them for a while.
Love it.
We'd also like to give a shout out to Gomez Sim Industries, Porsche Sport, and Opencast as their sponsors. We'd also like to give a shout out to the team, Fiercely Forwards, and everyone in the team that done amazing this season. Can't fault them.
Cracking. Well, good to speak to you as always, Taylor. Thank you very much, mate. Well done, and we'll see you next season.
Thank you.
Oh, just caught him last moment there. Right then, next up is the one and only Paul Godden joins me in the chat, and unfortunately, Paul wasn't in that race, so we're going to carry on watching Taylor Lane's car. But, Paul, it's been a bit of an up and down season at points for you. I know that Ross Nicholson in particular has had a bit of a wild riding compared to last season, but how have you found it overall this time round?
The season's been really good. The formats worked amazingly, I think, for considering all the work we put in before the season to try and work out how to get so many drivers into it and keep it clean and consistent for everyone, and to give them the fairest chance of getting into the final race. I think it's worked really well. The team have done really well this season, but the mid-season setup change has really hurt us hard. And unfortunately, whatever we done, we just couldn't get it hooked up. So Brian and Ross both fell back, and then obviously because they were struggling, they lost a little bit of interest in the practice as well, which meant they didn't do as much. So when they got to the race day, they wasn't prepared as they could have been.
Yeah.
Wayne's been pretty consistent all season. He's just had a few incidents which he's been involved in, which is similar to myself. And then the 2 academy drivers, they've done very good. They're still at the back end of the field, but you look at their times to where they were in race 1 to where they were after round 10.
Yeah,
they've done amazingly, and I'm proud of all the team and how the season's gone, really.
And you guys obviously you've got a similar sort of morale advantage like Fiercely Forward have got, where you've got a lot of cars on the grid. There may be some of them slightly different teams, but as one big stable. And you've all got them in different categories and in different places on the grid. So you get a bit of feedback from everywhere, don't you? And it must help going forward to each and every round.
Yeah, Alton Park, we were trying to get a setup to work for everyone from the quicker drivers, because Brian and Ross have a certain driving characteristic. Me and Wayne are very similar in driving. If you look at our times throughout the whole season, we're almost the same. And then obviously Danny and Greg in the academy car, they're trying to learn it. So when we were doing setups for everyone, we were basically giving the same setup to everyone, getting their feedback, and then seeing if it was slower for Brian and Ross to run it. But Danny and Greg they could drive it, and if they could drive it, then it was okay for the academy drivers. And if it was slow-ish, but a little bit slower, but still nice and raceable, which is the main thing,
Yeah.
then we rolled it out for Alton Park, which was the one straight after the update. So yeah, we try and spread it out for everyone, but the main reason was to have the academy drivers, was to get 2 people that have never done the championship before, never really raced this car at all, and just to see how they get on. So and it actually worked quite well for them, and we're hoping to come back for season 3. Not sure with the same team or different team, because we're looking at maybe changing a few drivers around in different cars, but apart from that, it should be good.
Well, yeah, I mean, the format, I must say, I mean, I'm slightly biased, but I'm a humongous fan of that format, because it's just so much fun to cover. There's so much going on all of the time, and everybody seems to find somewhere to be on track. There's always battles for everybody, and there's so much racing over the course of one night as well, and we don't have to have a big 10-minute break of adverts and all rubbish in the middle of it. You know, it's just quick fire stuff, and it's what I love. I mean, it's great for me. It means that I spend less time on the evening away from the missus, where she can't moan at me, but it also means that, you know, I get to enjoy exciting racing at the same time. So it's awesome to see, really is. Well done from me and everybody at Simracersworld, though, because to have you
thank
guys...
you very much for your broadcast as well. They've been great throughout the whole season.
Thank you.
Covered everyone from the front of the field to back of the field, and yeah, I'd like to shout out to Simracersworld for putting on an amazing league, and for Bart that does an incredible amount of work behind the scenes to get moves, considering how unwell he's been as well this season. It's been testament to how well everyone actually feels of Bart and put into the league. So
indeed, mate. Well, well said. Very well said. But great to speak to you as always, Paul. Thank you very much for all of your support as well this season, and hopefully we'll see you next time round, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll see you later on.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Right then, one more interview to do, and out of everybody, we have to save the best to the last, don't we, mate? It's Bart Daleman joining me in the box. Bart, you had another strong result tonight, a good sort of comeback from the illness. I hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, still sick, but I actually missed this for the last round, so I had a fever today because I got tested positive again.
Oh, heck.
Yeah, but I couldn't miss this last round, so I didn't expect to be fourth, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, that's it, mate. I mean, fair play to you. I mean, Paul has just highlighted it there as well. You know, the amount of work that you do for this series, mate, and the fact you're racing it as well. It's just awesome. Really is. So hats off to you, mate. What has been your highlight of this season? Because there's been so much going on. There's been... I mean, I must admit, mate, the format change has been phenomenal. It's been so much fun to broadcast. It's been great viewing for everybody as well. But has anything topped that for you?
For me personally, it's that all the drivers complimented me with the series, that everybody enjoyed it. That's for me the important part. That's why I do it. That's why we do it as an admin team.
Yeah.
We listen to the drivers, and we will do that again for when we are creating season 3. And I really love it that they all enjoyed the format. And it was a gamble because there was a lot of speculation between us. Is it working or not? But I think it worked very well.
Oh, it did, yeah, for sure. I mean, I was just saying to Paul then, you know, it's quick fire racing. There's always something going on, and there's always something to commentate on, and that's perfect for me. I don't like having these humongous breaks between races, so that warm-up session where there's still something to watch, it just adds so much to it. And I mean, I won't lie, I took inspiration from it for the British Boring Car Championship this season. We run a heat racing format now with a warm-up session, just so nobody has to leave and come back in. It just makes it all a bit cleaner, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes the night much smoother. Otherwise, you have to make the service, create the service. It's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And now you have a very smooth evening. It's only a little bit maybe for the drivers that are in Heat 2 and Consolation. And then go to the feature, it's maybe a lot. That's why we have that 10-minute warm-up to give them a little breather.
Yeah. Well, it works very well, Bart, and obviously thank you for getting me involved as well. It's been a real joy this season. And, well, you're the final person this season, mate, but do you want to give a shout-out to anybody before you go?
Yeah, all the admin team behind me, Paul Godden, for supporting this series. I hope he comes back for Season 3. We don't know yet. But if he does decide to get back into this series, then we would be very happy. He was a great partner. We had some discussions between me and Paul, but it was all in good spirit. The drivers, all the drivers, for being good sports. Also, when we had decisions as an admin team, the most of them took it very well. No discussions. In season 1, there were some people that were discussing that, but this season everybody was very understanding to the admin and the stewards team. Thanks to all the driver stewards, because we had a big team this season. Last season we had only 3 or 4 stewards from the admin team. This season we invited drivers from different teams, and I want to thank them as well to take the time to watch the incidents and vote.
Mm-hmm.
And thank to Ian for giving me the chance to do this. He put his trust in me for creating this series, and I want to thank him as well. And thank you for your brilliant broadcasting. And we hope we see you also on season 3.
Oh, you certainly will, mate. Don't you worry. As soon as the dates come out, it is going in the diary. Don't you worry, Bart. But thank you again for joining me, mate. Thanks for a fantastic season, and hopefully I'll speak to you very, very soon.
Yeah, speak you very soon.
Cheers. Right then, that's it. That is the season done with. Season 2 of the Sim Stickers Sim Racers World Formula 3 series is complete. Adrian Falcon takes your overall and precision class championship with a very dominant performance all season. Josh Clogg wins the consistency class championship for Fiercely Forward. Fiercely Forward also take the team's championship as well this time round, and my very good friend Taylor Lane wins the Academy class championship. So your 3 champions have definitely been crowned, and what a season we've had. A fantastic format, plenty of frantic racing, and hopefully some very good broadcasts. Apologies about some of the technical issues we've had mid-season, but you know that I will do my very best to continue a high quality of standard for the following season. My name has been Chaz Draycott. You can check me out at chazdraycott.com or Chaz Draycott Media on any of the socials, whether it be Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. But for now, goodbye everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you next season.